Did you know that cockroaches have been around for over 300 million years? That's right, folks. Cockroach S5. But what makes us six-legged terrors so darn hard to kill? Well, buckle up because we're about to dive into the fascinating and slightly terrifying world of cockroach resilience. And who knows? By the end, you might just develop a grudging respect for these resilient little rascals. Or at least you'll have some great cocktail party trivia. Let's start with the cockroach's first line of defense, its exoskeleton. Entomologist S2. This exoskeleton is made of a tough substance called chitin, which is like nature's version of Kevlar. Imagine trying to squash a cockroach with a shoe. You bring it down with all your might, thinking you've won the battle. But lo and behold, the little beast scurries away. It's not just tough, it's also flexible, allowing the cockroach to squeeze through the tiniest of cracks. Entomologist SS2. This wonder armor isn't just for protection, it also helps to prevent water loss, which is crucial for survival. And here's a fun fact that'll make your skin crawl. The exoskeleton is covered in sensory hairs. These hairs are so sensitive that they can detect air currents, allowing the cockroach to sense approaching danger. Entomologist S2. So, the next time you try to sneak up on a cockroach, remember, it probably knew you were coming before you even lifted your foot. It's like trying to surprise a psychic. Good luck with that. Talk about being prepared. Now, let's talk about speed. If you've ever tried to catch a cockroach, you know they're fast. Urban scientist S1. A cockroach can run up to 3 miles per hour. Relative to their body size, that's like a human running at 210 miles per hour, but it's not just about raw speed. Cockroaches are also incredibly agile. Urban scientist S1. They can change direction on a dime, zip up walls, and even run upside down on ceilings. So the next time you're chasing a cockroach around your kitchen with a rolled-up newspaper, remember you're up against a tiny six-legged Olympic athlete. Urban scientist S1. Maybe it's time to invest in some bug-catching track shoes, and unlike you, they've been training for this moment their entire lives. Section 4. Who needs a head anyway? Now brace yourselves because we're about to dive into the realm of the truly bizarre.
In what can only be described as a middle finger to the laws of nature, a cockroach can survive for weeks without its head.
Well, unlike us fragile humans, cockroaches don't need their heads to breathe. They have tiny holes called spiracles along their body segments that they use for respiration.
Cockroaches are cold-blooded, which means they don't need to regulate their body temperature.
They can keep on trucking without a head until they eventually die of thirst.
Now, you might be thinking, surely they need their head for something? Well, yes. The head does house their brain and antennae, which they use for sensing their environment.
So even without a head, they can still navigate their surroundings to some extent.
It's like they've got a backup nervous system.
At this point, I wouldn't be surprised if we discovered they had a spare head tucked away somewhere. Talk about being prepared for the worst. Section 5. Radiation, schmadiation, cockroaches don't care.
Well, guess what? Cockroaches laugh in the face of radiation.
Cockroaches can withstand radiation levels up to 15 times higher than what would kill a human.
Cockroach cells divide more slowly than human cells, and it's during cell division that radiation does its damage.
It's like they're playing a game of dodge the radioactive bullet at the cellular level and winning.
In a post-apocalyptic world, while we humans are busy turning into ghouls or super mutants, cockroaches would probably just be going about their business as usual.
Planet of the Cockroaches, anyone? Now there's a movie I'd watch. Section 6. Adaptability, the real superpower.
Part of this adaptability comes from our diet. We're what you humans call opportunistic omnivores.
In fact, some species can even survive on nothing but the glue from the back of postage stamps.
But it's not just about what we eat. It's also about how we adapt to changes in our environment.
We've been around for hundreds of millions of years, surviving multiple mass extinction events.
It's like we've got a PhD in survival.
And here's the kicker, they're still evolving.
Some cockroaches have developed a distaste for sugar, helping them avoid the sugary baits in many cockroach traps.
So the next time you see a cockroach, remember, you're not just looking at a pest, you're looking at one of nature's greatest success stories. A disgusting, creepy, crawly success story, but a success story nonetheless.